Hello and welcome back to another lecture. In this lecture, we will create the security groups we need for this project. These are the security groups we will create for this project. We will create the first security group and call it Application Load Balancer Security Group. This is the security group we will add to the Application Load Balancer, and on this security group, we will open port 80 and port 443 from anywhere on the internet. Next, we will create the SSH Security Group. And this is the security group that will allow us to connect to our EC2 instance. On this security group, we will open port 22, and the source is going to come from our IP address. Remember, anytime you create an SSH security group, you should always limit the source to your IP address. The third security group we will create is called Web Server Security Group. This is the security group we will add to our EC2 instances. And on this security group, we will open port 80 and port 443. The source is going to come from our Application Load Balancer Security Group. We will also open port 22, and the source is going to come from our SSH Security Group. The last security group we will create is called Database Security Group. This is the security group we will add to the RDS database. And on this security group, we will open port 3306, and the source is going to come from our Web Server Security Group. To create our security group, let's go to the Management Console. In the Management Console, type VPC in the search box and select VPC under Services. On the VPC dashboard, select Security Groups under Security. And let's filter this by our VPC. I'll click in here and I'll filter it by my dev VPC. Currently in the dev VPC, we only have the default security group. To create our first security group, click Create Security Group. Give the security group a name and I'll call it Application Load Balancer Security Group. Once you've given your security group a name, next we'll give it a description and I'll use the same information. So I'll copy this and paste it here. Next, we will select the VPC we want to put the security group in. I'll remove this VPC by clicking this X button. Then I'll select my dev VPC. Scroll down. Under Inbound Rule, click Add Rule. The first port we will open is port 80. So select this drop down, look for HTTP, select it. And the source is going to come from anywhere on the internet. So in here, type 0.0.0.0/0. Once you've typed it, press Enter. The next rule we will add is for HTTPS. Click Add Rule, select this drop down, look for HTTPS. Select it. And under Source, the source is also going to come from anywhere on the internet. And that is going to be 0.0.0.0/0. So type it in here. And press Enter. Once you've added the two rules, scroll all the way down and click Create Security Group. We have successfully created the Application Load Balancer Security Group, and we have opened port 80 and port 443. The source is coming from anywhere on the internet. Next, we will create the SSH Security Group. Select Security Groups. Click Create Security Group. Give the security group a name. I'll call it SSH Security Group. I'll use the same name for the description. Then we will select the VPC we want to create it in. Click this X to remove this VPC and select your dev VPC. Scroll down. Under Inbound Rule, we are going to add our rule. Click Add Rule. The rule we will add is for SSH. Select this drop down and select SSH. Then under Source, select this drop down and select my IP. This is how you limit your SSH security group to your IP. Then scroll down and click Create Security Group. We have successfully created the SSH security group and open port 22 and limit the traffic to our IP address. The next security group we are going to create is the Web Server Security Group. Select Security Groups here. Click Create Security Group. Give the security group a name. I'll call it Web Server Security Group. I'll use the same name as the description. Then we will select the VPC we want to put it in. Remove this VPC. Then select your dev VPC. Scroll down. Under inbound rule, the first rule we will add is on port 80. Click add rule. Then select this drop down and select HTTP. Under source, we will limit the source of this traffic to the application load balancer security group. So select in here, scroll down to the security group section and select your application load balancer security group. The next rule we will add is on port 443. Click add rule and select this drop down. Look for HTTPS, select it, and under source, we will limit it to the application load balancer security group. Select this drop down, scroll down. Under the security group section, select the application load balancer security group. The last rule we will add for this security group is for SSH. Select add rule, then select this drop down and select SSH. Under source, we are going to limit the source of this traffic to the SSH security group. Select this drop down and scroll down to the security group section and select the SSH security group. That is all the rule we need to add to this security group. Scroll down and click create security group. We have successfully created the web server security group. We opened port 80 and port 443 and we limited their source to our application load balancer security group. We also opened port 22 and we limited the source to the SSH security group. The last security group we will create is for the database. Select security group up here. Then click create security group. Give the security group a name. We'll call it database security group. I'll use the same name as the description. Then under VPC, select the VPC you want to create the security group in. I'll remove this VPC and select my dev VPC. Scroll down. Under inbound rules, click add rule. The rule we will add is on port 3306. Select this drop down and look for MySQL and Aurora. I'll scroll down. Select MySQL and Aurora here. And you can see it is port 3306. Under source, we will limit the source of this traffic to the web server security group. So click in here. Go down to the security group section and select the web server security group. Once you've added the rule, scroll down and click create security group. We have successfully created the database security group and open port 3306 and we limit the source to our web server security group. This is how we create all the security groups we need for this project. If there is any part of this lecture you don't understand, please leave your comments below. Thank you and I'll see you in the next lecture. Bye.